Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you like how to do a specific nail design just because someone asked me. So I'll show you which design it is. I'm going to be working on this page today, but I'll show you the design. I'm going to go into my designs of the day, and it's this one. So I'm going to be doing it in square, but as you can see, you know, there's going to be some 3D jelly, some gold butterflies and pearls, this really cool nail here um, with animal print, and then like some gold chains and so on and so forth, some 3D flowers and whatnot. So going back onto the page I'm working on, I'm going to set the template to reference by tapping on it and clicking reference. Then I'm going to add a new layer on top and make sure that it's clipping masked. Oh, no, actually it doesn't have to be clipping masked. I'm just going to add a new layer on top, and I'm going to choose my base color for my nails, and I'm going to make sure to fill on a layer separate from my nail templates. This is the color I use for all of my nail bases, and if you want to use it, it's right there, the code. So I'm just going to drag and drop and fill them all. To like make it easier, I'm just going to tap the color drop button and then continue filling. Once I'm done with that, I'm just going to take the layer, the template layer off of reference, because what I need to do next is going to require that to be ticked off. We're going to start using clipping masks now, and I'm going to start creating my Frenchies. And in that nail design, it was like a teal French mostly, so I'm just going to grab a similar color and use my studio pen brush, and this can be found under inking right there. And I'm gonna get started. If you want to make things easier for you, I suggest stabilizing your brush. You just go to stabilization and it just makes it very smooth, as you can see. It doesn't really matter how high you turn it up, just turn it up to how you feel comfortable using it. But once that's there, I'm gonna start drawing my arc and hold it so that I can adjust it to create my smile line as neat as I want, or exactly as shallow or as deep as I want. And once I'm happy with it, I'm gonna close the shape. I'm gonna just tap the screen or tap anywhere to just turn off the editing, and then I'm gonna close the shape. And now we can fill the nail. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this French tip and I'm gonna duplicate it across all the nails, and we'll start moving on to the next step. I wanted to take the time to show you this for a second. Usually I'll duplicate it 5 times and then merge them, and then duplicate the 5 tips over to the other half of the nails, because it's just faster that way. But you can see when I'm sliding over that these 3 lines show up, and they're guidelines to show me that they're all on the same level. The way to do that is to turn snapping on. So if you select the cursor tool, you'll see in the bottom left corner that there is an ability to turn on snapping, and you want to just tick that on if you want to have those blue guidelines the way I have them, because it's not in the default settings. So now that I'm done with my French tips, I'm actually going to take them off of, okay, so this is a really good moment. I want to pause the video real quick. This is a really good time for me to explain clipping masks further. So I'm going to actually take them off of clipping masks, and they're going to show up kind of messy and outside of my nail template. But the reason why I'm taking them off is because I need to add details within the French tips, and I only want them to be added to the French tips. So now I have to turn the French tips into a master layer, and have a layer on top, clipping mask into the French tips. So everything that I draw will only show up on the French tips. And then once I'm done with everything, I can merge it and put the French tips back on clipping mask. But you'll see everything. I just wanted to like pause it and let you know why I'm doing it, and just so that I give you a better understanding of clipping masks. So let's continue the video now. I'm gonna go in with like a slightly greener color, and I'm gonna use my airbrushing, my soft brush under airbrushing, this one here at the top. Did I end up using soft blend? Okay, I ended up using soft blend. Sometimes I usually use soft brush. I don't know why I use a soft blend, but they're pretty similar. And then I'm just going to airbrush some of the nails The ones that remain mostly teal are the ones that got like that green aura added to them in random places. So you'll just see me adding it there and around in random places. All right, so I'm done now, and I'm gonna take the same brush. I didn't change my brush at all, and I'm gonna grab a hot pink color. I actually picked purple, but I decided I think pink is best because it'll just blend into the blue and create a purple. Um, so I'm gonna put that on the middle finger, and then I'm gonna grab a deep yellow and put it just under the pink. I actually put it up too high, so I undid it with two fingers. As you can see, there's too much yellow, so I undid it with two fingers, two finger tap, and then did it again. Once I was happy with that, I wanted it to be consistent, so I selected the ombre and I duplicated it. And then once I duplicate it, I can slide it over to the finger, the middle finger on the other half of the nails. I'm gonna open my layers panel. Once I get it, like I'm very like particular about making sure it's like really in the middle and even. And then once it's in the center, I'm gonna turn it on to clipping mask so that it fits into the French tips. So now we have to change the French tips on the ring fingers to orange. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to select the nail. It's actually the pointer and the ring. I'm going to slide down with three fingers and click cut and paste. This is automatically going to make it clipping mask. I'm going to take it off of clipping mask. Everything is going to go off of clipping mask because that was the lowest one. And then I'm going to turn it, and okay, I'm going to pause the video actually, and I'm going to explain this. Okay, so what I'm doing in this point right now is I'm changing the pointer finger and the ring finger to being orange. The French tip needs to be orange. So I'm going to click on the French tip layer and I'm going to hit my select tool and I'm going to highlight the nail that I want to change. And then I'm going to swipe down with three fingers and cut and paste it. That cut and paste, like the new layer that it's going to separate from the original French tip and it's going to be off on its own. The location where it's going to be is right under all of the other clipping masks. So Procreate will automatically put it on a clipping mask. And that's why it disappeared when I did that. But I'm just going to open up the layers panel and take it off of clipping mask. And because that was the lowest layer of all the clipping masks, everything is going to go off of clipping mask because that's just how Procreate operates. And that's fine. It doesn't, that like, there's nothing wrong with that. We can always turn clipping mask on and off and, you know, stuff like this. I'm happy that I'm showing you guys because then you can understand how clipping mask works a little bit more. But once that's done, okay, so once I take it off of clipping mask, I'm going to tap on that French tip that I want to change to orange, and I'm going to turn it on alpha lock. Alpha lock is how to isolate those pixels on the screen so that you can change just those colors in the entire layer. So I'm going to turn it on alpha lock, and then I'm going to make sure that I have the right type of orangey yellowish color that I want. I think it's actually like a deep yellow. It's like almost orange, or it's like a light orange. It's a very in between sort of color. But I'm gonna make sure that I have the color that I want, and then I'm gonna tap on the layer again and click fill color. And then it's going to change my French tip to being orange. I'm going to do it again on the ring finger on the other set of nails. And that's essentially what I'm doing. Okay. Select tool, highlight, cursor tool, slide down with three fingers. I moved it so I have to reset it. Slide down with three fingers, cut and paste. Alpha lock, fill layer, merge back into the French tip layer, merge all of the auras and the gradients, and put them on clipping mask. Bada bing, bada boom, we're back to normal. Okay, so continuing on the layer with all the auras and the gradients, I'm gonna make that orange color a lot more reddish. I'm just gonna slide it to the red side and add dimension on those orange French tips. And honestly, I really don't like the soft blend brush. I prefer the soft brush because it's a lot softer. I'm not even gonna lie, like with this I had to do a lot more like finagling. So use the soft brush if you're gonna do this. So we're getting close to my favorite part. I'm just gonna finish up with these orange French tips, and then I'm gonna open up my layers panel and do my favorite part ever. So I'm gonna merge all of this into the French tip layer, and I'm gonna finally be able to put the French tips back on clipping mask. And everything looks clean, and I have all my French tips modified the way I need it to be. Beautiful, chef's kiss. It's looking great. You can see the green to blue ombre. You can see the super funky nail with the pink and the orange. You can see the orange and like the slightly redder orange, and it's looking real good. So we're gonna move on to the next step. So guess what? I'm sad again because I have to take my French tips off of clipping mask. I have to do one more element of details that only show up in the French tip. So I'm gonna take them off of clipping mask. Boop, I'm sad. And I'm gonna put the layer on top of it in clipping mask. I'm gonna change my color to like a deep brown, black, brown, black, really dark color, okay? And I'm gonna go into the inking category and choose my studio pen. And I'm gonna, the size is, I think it's at 5% right now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna zoom in, and this is gonna go on the super funky nail. And the way to get like a really good zebra print is to press hard at the edges, and once you get to the center of the nail, you lighten up your pressure a little bit. If you have an Apple Pencil, there is pressure sensitivity, so it'll work out pretty well. And I'm doing like some triangles, I'm doing some lines. You know how to do zebra print, like, come on, girl. I also decided to add some dots for some reason. Like, I don't know, I just wanted to add a little bit more interest to the to the pattern. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna open up my layers panel and duplicate it and slide it over to the other colorful ombre nail, and then I'm also going to duplicate it again and slide it onto the thumbs. And once I get to the thumbs, I'm gonna put them on alpha lock and change the color to a slightly lighter color than the teal French tips. And you'll see me do that. So I'm gonna slide it over now into the thumbs. I'm gonna do it twice because I have two thumbs. Well, I'm not gonna say nothing. I did flip it horizontally because just so that the design doesn't look so like repetitive. I do a lot of horizontal flipping also. I'm gonna merge the thumb zebra prints, whatever. I'm gonna merge them, put them on alpha lock, and then I'm gonna change it to like, I'm gonna click on that original teal color that I used. And then I'm gonna, that's the green one. This is the teal one. I'm just gonna make it like a lot lighter, and then I'm gonna fill the layer. And then I took it off alpha lock. But as you can see, it's like a lighter version. It's like barely visible, but it was in the original design, and I'm showing you a tutorial of how to do that. So yeah, but once I'm done with all that, I'm going to merge all of the zebra prints with the French tips, and then put the French tips back on clipping mask. I'm back at my favorite part. So we're here now. We have a layer on top of the French tips, and I'm going to start adding some more details, and I'm excited. So now I'm going to be working on the jellies, and if you notice a difference in the quality of my audio, it's because I'm working out of a hotel right now. I'm staying at a hotel for the weekend. You know, staycation, change of scenery. It's summertime, so why not? But I'm not at home, and I don't have my microphone. So I'm using my phone, and I'm working on the jellies. I'm using the studio pen brush to create these jellies, and I'm very particular about the shape and the flow of my jellies. So with the studio pen brush, it is kind of like, you can do it, absolutely, but it's a lot more finicky, and I do keep on undoing and redoing a lot. With this one here, I'm just rotating it. I'm just selecting it and then rotating it so that it can like match the flow of the one on top of it a little bit better, angle-wise. But once I perfect my jellies, oh, and let me just tell you, I pressed hard at first and then loosened my pressure after to create that taper. All right, so I've reached a portion in this section of the tutorial where I need to pause and explain. So right now I'm gonna create 3 versions of the jellies. And the reason why is because I wanna create shadows and highlights. So I'm just gonna name them as 1, 2, and 3. and you'll know like the order. The one at the very most top is 1, and the one at the very most bottom is 3. The third jelly, I'm gonna make that the darkest teal. The second jelly is gonna be even lighter than the first jelly. So it's gonna be like almost white. Once I change those colors, I'm then gonna select jelly number 2, and I'm going to like select that layer entirely, and I'm gonna tap above it 1 time. What that's gonna do is it's gonna shift the position 1 tick up. I'm going to move on to jelly number 3. I'm gonna select the layer, and I'm going to tap twice below it, and that is gonna shift the position 2 ticks down. The reason why is because I want those 2 colors to show on either side of jelly number 1. All right, so I'm back. I did my explaining, and now I can do it in like real-time speed and explain. So I'm gonna grab a dark teal color, and I'm going to select jelly number 3 to fill that layer while it's on alpha lock. I'm gonna grab a very, very light teal that's almost white for jelly number 2 and fill that layer while it's on alpha lock. I'm gonna select the entire jelly number 2 light layer and tap up once. And with the jelly number 3 layer, the darkest one, select it and tap down twice. Now I'm gonna Gaussian blur jelly number 3 to about 3% or so. And at this point, I didn't think it was dark enough, so I'm actually gonna grab an even darker teal color. And I'm going to put jelly number 3 back on alpha lock, and I'm gonna fill the layer to be darker. And that is perfect. It's giving lifting off the nail. And we're gonna continue on with making jelly number 1 look more 3D as well. So I'm gonna grab my soft brush under airbrushing, and using that same dark teal that I used for the shadow in jelly number 3, I'm gonna make sure my brush is at 2%, and I'm gonna add a shadow section on the opposite side to where jelly 3 is showing. It adds more dimension, it makes it look more 3D, and it just makes sense for how light refracts in something clear. So I'm gonna do that to all of them, and when I come back, I'm going to do the final touches. Okay, now it's safe to merge jelly number 1 with the airbrushing that we just did. We're gonna create a new layer, choose the color white, and we're gonna take our technical pen and inking, and we're gonna set it to 2%. And then on top of the airbrushing that we just did, we're going to add some highlights. So I like to do that by doing like flowing lines that break up, and then a dot in between them or at the end of them. So you just created some 3D jellies. Be very proud of yourself, and we're gonna move on to the next step. There were jellies a few times. They showed up a few times in this design. So I'm gonna duplicate them and put them on the other pinky, as well as duplicate them and crop out half of it and add it to the pointer finger on the right side, as well as the pointer finger on the left side. The pointer finger on the left side is orange, so I will go over how to change the color of the jellies with you. To change our jellies from teal to orange, I'm going to go over to the adjustments tool and click on hue, saturation, and brightness, and then change the hue until the jelly changes from a tealish color to like an orangish color. Sometimes you have to slide across to find the color, but just keep on going. I up the saturation a little bit just so it can be a little bit more of a deeper orange, and that was that. So now I'm going to be working on the 3D flower. I have gotten questions on how to do a 3D flower. However, this video is coming out after I made a short tutorial on how to do it on Instagram, like on a reel. So here's another one. So I take the studio pen and I draw 1 petal, and then I just duplicate the petal to have all 5 petals on different layers. That way I can adjust all of the petals to make the flower be the exact shape I want it to be. And then once I'm happy with it, I can merge them all and fill the flower. It is now time to fill the flowers. So like I said, I'm going to merge them all and I'm going to fill each petal. I need to turn the threshold up on this one. So once that's done, I'm going to continue filling and fill all of the petals. As you can see, there's still some threshold issues on some of the petals, so I'm just coloring them in. And just like the Rio, now it's time to take the technical pen and like define in between each petal more. This flower is different from the flower on Instagram, so I'm not going like all the way to the center the way I did in the other one. This flower has wider petals. So remember when I told you this video was recorded before the latest Instagram reel about the brushes came out and the tutorial about the 3D flower. So those tutorials and those brushes are way more refined. I simplified it a lot, and in this video I was using everything, and you really don't need to, so I don't want to like go over like all the details and stuff. Like it really was like excessively long and unnecessary, so follow the Instagram tutorial, but I just wanted to like speed the video up so you can actually see anyway. We have reached part 3 of this video. We are 20 minutes in, hun. And if you're still here, drop a butterfly in the comment section. Let me know that you got this far. Anyway, I'm going to add a new layer and start choosing some nail charms. These are my metallic nail charms, and if you're interested in getting them, they're available on my Etsy shop. And really, I don't have much to teach you about this part. It's literally just copy and paste, and then you can, you know, rotate it and move it around, duplicate it, transform it, and adjust it as much as you need to get your desired look. But remember, we're copying this design, so that's what I'm following because someone asked me to show them how I created it. But yeah, with the metallic nail charms, it's really, really easy. It's copy and paste, and it makes nail designing so much faster. So the link to them will be in the description of this video if you're interested. You know what? Maybe I can teach you a little bit about the transform tool. So if you click transform, which is that cursor tool at the top, and you go to warp, you can actually bend your nail charms a little bit with the chains. I had to do that. And then with these plastic nail charms, I just needed to grab some pearls from there. These are not available yet. I'm still working on them. And mind you, this video is an older video. Like the voice note that I'm doing is June 15th. This was like a couple weeks back. So a lot has happened since then. But at the time, that's what those plastic nail charms looked like. And they will be available soon. I just don't know when. There's like literally so much working parts to running a business. Like I know like digital products, it seems like it's a very easy 1, 2, 3 thing, but you're still operating an entire business, and I'm growing it at the moment. So, you know, it's a lot. Anyway, we reached part 4 of this video, and I'm super excited because we're like literally at the end. This is literally how you make your nails look more 3D. As you can see in this set here, I have like a part where the base is darker and then lighter. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So this is the first thing. I'm going to duplicate the French tips. I'm going to turn that bottom layer on Alpha Lock. I'm going to grab this like color that is darker than my base. I'll click on the base to show you where it is. And then this is the darker version of it. And this is the hex code. I'll have it on the screen as well. And I'm going to go back to that bottom layer and fill it. I'm going to take it off of Alpha Lock so that I can Gaussian blur. And I'm going to Gaussian blur to about 5 to 7%. And as you can see, it gives it like this really subtle and natural gradation. And it's supposed to represent the part of your nail that is longer than your nail bed. I'm going to merge them back together. And then we're going to add 2 more new layers. With the bottom one, I'm going to set the opacity down to 15%. And with the one at the top, I'm going to set the opacity down to 60%. The one that is at 15% needs to be on clipping mask because we're going to use that to add shadows to the entire nail plate. I'm going to choose black. I'm going to go with my brush pen there and then set it to the highest size that I have set. I don't know, that's like 40 or something, or 50 or more than that. Just make it big enough so you can cover the side of your nail. And I'm just going to add shadows on all of the right side of all of the nails. And I'm going to go up to the layer that was set to 60% opacity. And I'm going to change my color to white, use the same brush and set the size down to about 15 or 20 or so, and then I'm gonna go in and start adding highlights on the nails. And I like to do this basically very similar to the jellies that I did. It's really just curves, lines, dots in between, dots at the end, and so on and so forth. But that is it. That's how you make the nails look a little bit more 3D. You add that gradation by duplicating the French tips and doing your highlights and your shadows. And that is the end of it. We have reached the end of this video. That is how I designed this particular nail set. And you know, like, it will, like, when you're coming up with a new original set that you're thinking like out of your mind and getting inspired, it will take you some time. You will change your mind a lot, and that is all normal. It's just a part of the process of just deciding. You know, you have to put something down, decide if you like it, if you don't like it, change it, and so on and so forth. But this is what my nails look like, just basic pink, and I loved it, and I just wanted to show you, you know. But thank you so much for watching, and bye.